Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what this is all about. I guess we'll just hit okay. I haven't played this game since 2002-ish, maybe 3. I can't even remember some of this. But I remember a lot of it, if that makes sense. I remember waiting so long for this game. When the GameCube launched, it didn't have Super Mario Sunshine, it had Luigi's Mansion. And I got a GameCube at launch. 4 days before launch. Because I worked in a game store and, you know, I was allowed to get it a little early. But, I was a little disappointed that GameCube didn't have a Mario game. And when this came out, I literally thought this was the second coming of Super Mario. This was the sequel to the greatest video game of all time, Super Mario 64. Now, was it? It wasn't even really a sequel to Mario 64. It wasn't as good as Mario 64. But it was perfect for the GameCube because the graphics were phenomenal. It came out August of 2002, and we had, you know, I was getting really heavily into Xbox. It would be a few more months before I got Xbox Live. PS2 was coming into its own. Vice City was coming out. Man, what a time to be alive. Just make sure it runs. It might not. This is a test. I haven't streamed a GameCube game yet. Oh, look at those little toads. They're so happy. Oh, I gotta get out of there. What do I gotta do again? It's been that long. Oh, you can jump on their heads. Don't worry, Mario. We'll watch over the princess. Please go and get help. Like, all 10 of you gotta watch the princess? It's got the classic Mario feel. You know what I love? I hated the camera back then because it would get caught in between things like this, right? But you do have, like, finite control over it. And this was on Isle Delfino. This was based off the Dolphin. Remember, GameCube was called Dolphin? So this is Isle Delfino. Still very dolphin-ish. Very water-based. I guess they were thinking about water and dolphins and all the cool stuff the GameCube could do and render. And it was a great system looking back. But at the time, if you were there, GameCube had troubles. GameCube wasn't just like this perfect little system that was the sequel to N64. The N64 wasn't even the sequel to Super Nintendo. This is its own beast, a new time in gaming when 3D games were really coming into its own. What the GameCube did was perfect what the N64 did, but it was also a completely different system in many ways. But, you know, it was still a great system, and I think it held up over time. You know, Xbox, as much as I love it, you look back at Xbox games, they looked great back then, but they're kind of like brownish looking, blurry textures. Like, it doesn't hold up as well. Like, you look at a game like Brute Force, like, I know, what a bad example. But, like, you know, even Halo 2, just doesn't hold up as well as, like this. This looks colorful and bold. So we're going to get past these. First time I ever saw a cutscene in Mario games. It was, like, really weird. Unskippable in classic Nintendo terms. No, I don't want to hear your explanation again. Like, thanks. Let's go. So let's make sure the stream is going good. Everything's happy. Yeah, okay. I don't have chat on right now. Just kind of doing an early morning stream. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. Now, my least favorite part of the old Mario games were the water levels. This whole game's based off water. Oh, now we gotta fight the piranha plant. Ooh. Soak these guys. But cool physics. Like, again, at the time, you know, AI wasn't the big rage. It was physics. It was good graphics, colorful textures. This wasn't a game, though, that your parents could play. You know, like Mario Brothers was a game you could play with your parents. You know, do-do-do-do-do-do. This was, like, more hardcore. Like, you had to be a gamer at this point to understand. So it's funny that, like, Shigeru Miyamoto was on the forefront of game design back in these days. Legend, Shigeru Miyamoto, game designer. But he's making games that anyone can pick up and play. But really, like, they're so hardcore. They're so hardcore that you still got to be a gamer. Versus Mario 1, you didn't have to be a gamer. That's what brought us to the dance. That's what brought us millennials to the dance back in the day. Some of us, a lot of us, you know. You played Mario 1, and that's the game that you play with your parents. You could showcase to your friends. Mario 1 taught me how to play video games. But, like, this was not a game that you could give a kid and be like, here's video games you can play now. Like, I guess you could. Like, they're not dumb, but you kind of already had to know how to play Mario 64. And then you got to learn this flood device, this thing that shoots water. I don't like these characters. I think they were critically bashed. They have nothing to do with the Mario universe. But it is its own little Mario universe. There's the hub world. Quite different than the castle in Mario 64. And again, Mario 64 was the better game. But this was impressive. This had some great graphics and physics. So we're about to see, as soon as this game lets me start.
The reason? It's quite obvious. This horrible graffiti is to blame.
I don't even know if Bowser's the enemy.
The perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions.
Ooh.
It's obvious. The guilty party sits among us.
Again, talking in a Mario game. Yeah, Princess Peach spoke, and Mario said, "It's a Mia, Mario." But full sentences with cutscenes, this was unheard of back in 2002 for a Mario game. For a Mario game.
Mario shall not be allowed to leave. Court adjourned.
He's getting the IRL streamer treatment. He can't leave the country he's in.
Data analysis verifies that the island's inhabitants are indeed troubled by pollution, but the pollution itself is not the main problem.
The pollution. See, there's some underlying themes here. You got pollution. You know what? Let's get to the YouTube chat.
Shine sprites are the source of power on Isle Delfino. They used to gather in great numbers at the Shine Gate, but the graffiti incident has polluted the island and most of the Shine sprites have fled.
There we go.
No longer any power to support the peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable. The only way to ensure the return of the Shine
Oh, the story sucked, okay. I should have skipped all this before I started my stream. That's my bad. Good morning. Welcome to Chad Hogan Live. No Redfall video today. No news stories to update. Just a good old-fashioned stream, the way that streaming was meant to be. Playing GameCube today. I'm a variety streamer. No, I don't want to hear the explanation again. Who wants to? Who would want to? There's somebody out there that would want to. He's being punished to clean up all the mess that he didn't make. But being Mario, he's more than happy to oblige. Little laggy on my end, but that's just my my hardware. See if we can get past the lag, folks. See if we can get past the lag, champs. Yeah. Ugh. Had some great physics, though. You're playing Mario 64 again, right? But the Z button now brings up the map. Sacrilegious. The Z button was his butt stomp. Now it's L. Who wants that? Who wants L as the butt stomp? I like Z button. Now let's go ahead and close some tabs here. Bear with me. Sorry about that. There we go. Much smoother. I just had some tabs open. My bad. I gotta be more mindful of that. My wonderful audience here. I love you all. You've been watching Chad Hogan Live for 16 years on YouTube. I was the kid that smashed the DS. And now look at me, folks. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, let's clean up some pollution. Look at this. Look at this mess. And by the way, since we're here, don't pollute, all right? Yeah, we're gonna fight that piranha plant. Gotta learn how to refill my learn how to refill the water. So clearly Miyamoto's thinking about pollution. He's thinking about cleanliness. Each kind of Nintendo game has its own like theme, you know. I don't even know if I don't think Miyamoto designs games anymore. I think he's like the boss. Like he leads several game design teams. Well, there's Chrome Mario, first introduced in Mario 64. Oh wow, he kidnaps the princess. You know, if I was this princess, I would have armed guards on her at all times. The controls are absolutely perfect though. So I remember this game. Here's a funny story about Mario Sunshine. Probably about September of 02. You know, I've been done high school for about a year now. Got my GameCube. I'm working. Got a nice part-time job. I'm a buggy boy at this point, and it's a couple years before I'd go to college. And oh, I gotta hit him with water. And I buy this game, and I'm playing it, and I'm not disappointed, but I know in my heart it's not as good as Mario 64, right? And I'm on the level, I think it's the hotel level. And I got so mad at whatever puzzle I was stuck at. And I know it's embarrassing, but it actually made me cry. It made me cry. And I called my friend. We both worked at a video game store. I also had a part-time job in a game store. I was about to, you know, maybe I wasn't working at Microplay yet. But I was pretty close. And I called my friend and I was like, how much can I get from Mario Sunshine? He's like, what? And I just told him my problem. I was so mad at the game. And he gave me good advice. He's like, man, he beat it already. He's like, just stick with it. It's a really good game. And I stuck with it and ended up beating it. I was so proud when I beat this game. I didn't get like 120 star or nothing. But I was definitely like on the brink of quitting. Okay, I'm shooting him. Like, how can I... It's not really working here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. It's telling me to lightly tap the button. I hope I don't have to, because I don't know if that's possible, you know, on my current controller. Controllers aren't... Not all controllers had the GameCube's, like, analog pressure sensitive buttons. I don't know if mine does, or at least for this emulation, I don't know if I can emulate that. Press R lightly. This was the shit that frustrated me. This was where they fucked up on the game. It's like Mario 64 never made you do shit like this. And now you're fighting a camera and you're chasing a guy and you're not sure what to do. And the game's just not progressing. And you just want to play Mario. You just want to play some Mario Sunshine. And you got to use this stupid flood mechanic that they never brought back again. But after some time, you know, let's just go. Let's get with the friggin', like, see, now you still gotta chase him. This game was a success, but it wasn't Mario 64, and I think Nintendo was... This was the beginning of the end for GameCube, you know? This was when it was apparent to gamers that, you know, we're not in Toto anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore. Where did he go, you know? And again, you're thinking greatest video game of all time, and then you're going to this. This is like Star Wars. Now I love Star Wars Episode 1, and I'm in no way, shape, or form admonishing it. But like, this is like going from the old trilogy to the new trilogy, and you're just like, what the heck, man? This was not Empire Strikes Back. This was, you know, the Phantom Menace, and it was still a cool game, but man, it was different. And this is how you enter the painting. This is the paint, but literally it was paint. It wasn't even entering the painting. It was paint. So here's the first level. Let's go. You don't even get a let's go. Like, you don't even get a let's go. But after all that, after the tutorial, after chasing Mario, after everything, and now here's where I got frustrated. Notice I can't move the camera anymore. You can only move the camera so far. This was another mistake that I hated about this game. You can only move... Remember, and I was just spinning the camera around, seeing the whole view, seeing how perfect the controls were. And now look at me. I can't move it beyond left and right. And that gets frustrating as you're trying to figure shit out. But fun classic Mario controls, big playground levels. Like, this is the stuff dreams are made of. You know, just because it wasn't as good as Mario 64, again, I called it the Phantom Menace. But Phantom Menace was still Star Wars, you know, it was still Mario 64. It was apparent at this time, this was Nintendo's gimmick phase, when everything had to be a gimmick. And I feel like this game would have done better on the Wii if you had, like, the Wii remote and you could, like, aim your sprays. Like, this would have been perfect on the Wii remote, right? Cool that it like has like a lot of save points. You know, again, different from Mario, but like useful in this era. We need memory cards. You have to have a memory card. You can't save to the disc. N64, you know, some games made you have a memory card. Some games didn't. Some games didn't. Oh! Look at this mess. Probably hard to program, though. I mean, Nintendo must have been very proud of themselves. EAD, the development company that made this game. Just absolutely... You know, again, in 2002, to have physics like this that kind of dissipated. Really neat, you know? And a great showpiece, like, because back in these days too, graphics were all the rage. Which system had the better graphics? PS2 had the Emotion Engine, and Xbox had, you know, the DirectX. Well, GameCube needed something too, you know, and Nintendo was no slouch. They're still the masters, going strong with Switch 2 coming out. But they're not about power the way that some of these companies are about, right? So it's like they're more about the experience. And maybe I held that against them at the time, because at the time I was very much into power. I want a powerful Nintendo system that makes PS2 look like child's play. Okay, I can turn the camera around the whole way now. What the fuck? People criticize this game for being like a cleanup simulator. Power Wash Simulator has nothing on Mario Sunshine, my friend. I just love how you can pull the camera out, though. Or you can bring it in close. Where are we going here? I think we got to get to the top, right? This is the source, okay. There's that camera that I love so much. See, now I can't, like, pull it out, right? It's very challenging to control the camera. They should have had Hideo Kojima or something, you know what I'm saying? There's a game I gotta play on stream. Metal Gear Solid 2, how about that? I've been streaming on Twitch my Xbox games, and on PC I've been streaming my PC, my emulators and stuff, right? But you know, I want to do more GameCube. I want to get some GameCube games going, and I mean some PS2 games going. Like, there's so many. I'm gonna start streaming Dark Cloud. Remember the game Dark Cloud? I'm gonna stream the shit out of that. So many. Dot Hack I'd like to start playing. There's some GameCube games I'm looking back in my mind. I'm like, what did I like playing on GameCube? What's a good GameCube game? Pikmin, Luigi's Mansion, friggin' you know, Beautiful Joe. There was so many. This was an era when every game came in a box with instruction manuals. You just don't get that anymore in this digital era. And it's dark because we gotta lighten up the. I think the more pollution we behold, the better the sun will get. Oh, these little toads! Look at them. They're just little toads. Down with PD Piranha. Now, who's that? Oh, there he is. We got to go right on the windmill. All right, now we're familiar with Super Mario Sunshine. Let's do this. I am Chad Hogan Live. I bring to you lots of YouTube videos. Sometimes I stream the news, and oftentimes I play games. This is my collection of work on my YouTube channel, my portfolio, if you will, and I'm very happy that you're joining me, even if you're not live, if you're watching this after the fact. Check out my Redfall defense. I'm the only person in the universe that defended the game. It's not a bad game. But I also have questionable taste. I think I'm more forgiving. I think if a game's free, there's a different set of values that go with it. Ah, no. Oh. Ah. How do I do that? It's got that Yoshi's Island kind of. Ah, switch it. Didn't we clean this pollution up when we killed the piranha plant? Very Yoshi's Island with like the things dropping from the sky, you know. Remember level 2? Another game we'll be streaming here soon. Love me some Yoshi's Island. Good old Yoshi. Oh, I miss Yoshi's Island. Why can't Nintendo just... Well, I guess they did. I just don't have a Switch. Yoshi's Woolly Yarn. Like, I don't want to play Yoshi's Woolly Yarn. Give us Yoshi's Island 3. Fuck's sakes. Not Yoshi's Story. None of that shit. That game sucked. It was okay, but it sucked. Going from Super Nintendo Yoshi's Island to N64 Yoshi's Story. It was like, how dare they? Nintendo lost so much goodwill in this era. You gotta remember, this was the era where everyone thought, I'm gonna get a PlayStation over a GameCube. Nobody wanted a GameCube. All these Nintendo fans now, they were all abandoning ship back in these days. I told my friends I had a GameCube, they were laughing at me. Ah! No! I think a lot of people found this annoying as well. What were they thinking? This is actually why I never played Mario Galaxy. I just saw like the spinny star thing and I was just like, I knew what it was. I'm like, it's a Nintendo gimmick. And that's one thing, call me an Xbox fanboy, but if you gotta ask me what's one thing I'm not a huge fan of with Nintendo, it's the gimmicks, man. Every game's gotta have a gimmick. And I'm not down with that. Some games should just be games, you know? What's this guy doing? Actually, let's get the blue coin. But still, think of what it's doing. Think of what Nintendo's doing. Think of the graphics involved, the physics, the water. This really was a showpiece for the GameCube. You weren't getting games with water physics everywhere, Like, it was hard to render water. Hello. Ah, why? Why? You know, why? Running nice and smooth though, eh? See, we cleaned it up, we fixed it. I can run GameCube games here on YouTube. That's amazing. This is kind of a test for me. If I can run Mario Sunshine, I can run anything. This guy looks like he needs a hand. Let's super soak him. Uh-oh, you're gonna fall. Nice little boss. Oh yeah, you gotta fill his mouth up with water until he blows up. See, there's a classic Nintendo trope. I can get with that. Boom. Make him puke up a bit. It's pretty generous. It gives you a bunch of water for each tank fill up. You know what I gotta get? I'm gonna start playing Sonic on GameCube. That was fantastic. Sonic DX. Yeah. One of my fondest gaming memories in February of 2002, before this game came out, on the same day, Sonic Adventure DX, no, Sonic Adventure 2 came out at the same time as WWF Raw on the Xbox, right? GameCube got Sonic 2, Xbox got Raw, and Raw sucked, but I bought it anyways. And I bought Raw for Xbox and Sonic 2 for GameCube and spent like my entire paycheck. But that was a fun memory. At that point, I'm 18 years old. I never bought 2 games on one day. I'm still like freshly making money from my job. Go. Sunshine, get. Let's do one more. The Hillside Cave Secret. Ooh. Now, I think with this game, you couldn't go for other Sunshines. You had to go with the one you picked. Versus Mario 64, you could get whatever star you ran into. I could be wrong there, though. If anyone's chatting, I don't have my chat open. I closed it to speed the game up. I'll have to work on that in the future. And I will. Because I love interacting with people. I love people. And if you're a person, well then I love you. There's the Hillside Secret. So we gotta start over here. Look at that. It's almost like I've done this before. And you know what I'm saying? 2002, where were you? Were you born? Were you a teenager? Were you already an adult? Like, I was 18, turning 19. When this game came out, I was but 18 years young. Oh, what a time to be alive. Big pothead back then, too. I was smoking weed all summer long, baby. I was getting high every day, going to work, pushing buggies, and getting high. But it was fun. That's when it was really fun back then. It was new. I remember right the day I pre-ordered this game, it was like July of 2002. I pre-ordered it. I paid it off. I was very excited. And on that day, I had bought my first ever quarter of weed. And I had my friend roll it up into like 10 joints. And I put them in a little M&M's pack, a little package of M&M's like that came in a little plastic container. And I went around, did whatever I did, like hung out with friends and just smoked weed all day. And I remember like I'd never gotten that high before. I was, hey man, what's up? Want to smoke a doobie? And I just like bust out a joint, and I was in control of weed back then. So, and I am now, of course. I do not let weed control me. But this was like as I'm becoming a pothead. Loved getting baked, man. Never really loved getting drunk as much, even though I did. Loved getting baked. And boy, I tell you, after a day of getting baked and then coming home and playing your new GameCube, it just felt like a reward. You know, like a entitled first world, not problem, but solution. Like, you know, this Canadian kid getting baked all day. But I'm working for my money. Got my brand new GameCube. Had no idea about moving out. 10 years later, in 2012, I would move out. 10 more years of living at home. And, what the fuck? So I think we have to do this. I hated the double jump in this game. It's not as good as Mario 64. But look at the draw distance again. Going back to GameCube, look at how far the eye can see. That was the best feature of Flood, being able to do that little hover thing. Oh, where's Mario going? Oh, these levels. Shit, remember these levels? Mario Galaxy would borrow this. And have these little old school platform levels where it took away the Flood, and you had to do like a classic Mario 64 style platformer. These were frustrating too. I remember it might have been one of these that made me call my friend and just get really upset and cry. Ah! Okay. I was gonna say, if it made me start from the beginning, no need to show me the whole level again, you know? Ah. 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 I'll try and keep the moaning to a minimum. Like, thank you, camera. This is where the camera this is where the camera's not your friend. This is where I need to pull the camera out and see the entire playing field. There we go, like that. Okay, so I guess the camera is your friend. Pretty sure I hated these levels, but they were like critically acclaimed. Like, fuck off. The floating jump is just too much. Like, Mario just jumps like he flies. And the other thing that I wonder, and I used to get mad at this part of the game, because every one of these levels has a level like this. Why does the game insist on giving you this flood gimmick in order to take it away? Like, if the game wants you to use the flood, then let me use the flood for these parts. Like, classic Nintendo, here's a gimmick. By the way, we're taking it away. No point in having a gimmick. This is what turned me from a Nintendo fan to an Xbox fan. The gimmicks. There were no gimmicks on Xbox. You played the game and it was the game. You didn't need to have Master Chief have a floating suit or whatever, because he already did. But every Nintendo game had to have a gimmick back then. It was like they couldn't think of anything original. It's like, what can we do for Mario? Let's give him let's have Mario in space. Let's have Mario have a flood backpack. Let's have, Luigi have a vacuum cleaner. Like, they're just these weird, random, like, just have Mario. You know what I mean? Just have Mario and Luigi jumping. That's all you needed. That's all. That's all. But did they? Oh no, they had to have those gimmicks. I guess it worked out for them because Nintendo is now the top selling console in the industry with Switch 2 coming out. Do you remember when GameCube was only $199? Those were the days. Nintendo couldn't charge a premium if you paid them. Now, since they're number one, they can do whatever they want. But I actually have this game physically. Check this shit out right here. Oh yeah, unopened. Starting price goes at $500, folks. That's starting. But I don't know. 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 Let's end it here, because there's still so much to do. There's so much to do. We got 4 shines, and we kind of figured out how to play the game, right? Reacquainted with this game after 23 years. I was 18 when I played it. Now I'm 41. So, like, here we are, Here we are. We are here. I never even thought, like, man, what gaming would be like 23 years later. If you would have told me about Game Pass, PS5, and Nintendo Switch, man, I tell you what. It was an interesting time. It was a very interesting time. But this is a simpler time when games were competitive and Nintendo was Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? So definitely look forward to doing more GameCube streams. Like I said, we got Sonic Adventure DX to play next time. I got a lot of N64 games, Super Nintendo. The party never stops on Chad Ogan Live. So make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Guys, I've been doing this for the last 16 years. I'll be doing it for the next 16 years. So I love you all. Thank you so much, and please take care, because if you don't, I'm gonna get mad at you if you don't take care. I'm gonna give you a spanking if you don't take care. So make sure you take care, and when you take care, bring it back home, please. Thanks for watching. It's you people that are truly the stars, not me. It's you that are the stars. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Love that song. Ding, 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 ding.